Welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
Been a minute.
Yes, it has. It's a long 2 weeks.
Down in Puerto Rico.
Yep. I was down in Puerto Rico for 2 weeks as a fishing guide at a lodge called No Name. And I've never seen so many tarpon in my life. It was awesome.
How many were you catching tarpon every day?
Every day. I think there was one day we didn't get any because it was a full moon and they're offshore spawning. And anyways, but it was incredible.
I figured a full moon that's when you catch them.
I know. People will argue about that in fishing, but it was not good for tarpon to go offshore and do their thing.
Yeah. They do their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, dude, I want to catch up with you about that. But today we're here to talk for just a little bit about Skate Anima, this project. It's kind of your brainchild locally, and you've been putting it together. And now there's actually an event scheduled for August 15th, I believe.
August 15th, it'll be their first live streamed event. They've been doing events since 2015, but it will be in Brazil. And I've been back and forth with them for a long time now. And please check out, their Instagram, everything they have online on YouTube. It's they build apparatuses for adaptive skateboarding that are next level. And the guy that started it, Steven Pinto, has just been inspirational. Thrasher's posted about it. Tony Hawk's posted about it. It's pretty well known, but I think it could be something that, in my opinion, I think every city in the United States should have it. If not, it should be more accessible because it's good for therapy, like neurologically and obviously physically, and it gives a chance for anyone to skate and get the feeling of skateboarding.
Well, let's start with just like, what is it? What is Skate Anima and what do they do?
It's pretty self-explanatory if you look up, what they do online on their Instagram, but they put on clinics, and they've developed this apparatus is called a gait trainer, which is basically a harness. So if someone has any type of disability physically, they can safely be harnessed in and pushed by another skater and ride a skateboard and even grind a rail. So getting that feeling is pretty incredible how they've developed it and, to be able to do that as well. And then there's other rideable skateboards that have handles for varying levels of disability. And it's brilliant. So when I saw this first, it was after we had done a clinic here for adaptive skateboarding for independence for the blind. So we were taking blind kids that were, a lot of them were a lot younger, like even I would say starting at around 6 years old. And we had no idea what we were doing. I've never worked in that space before, but it didn't really matter. It's like we kind of naturally figured it out. There was a group of people that would kind of, make sure the kid was stable on a skateboard, take him up and down a ramp. And a lot of these kids, they seem to have kind of bad attitudes when they were out there first. They didn't really know what was going on. And as soon as they started riding down even the smallest slope, like they would start giggling. And it was just that very visceral experience of watching that happen in real time. And by the end of it, it was just such a success. It would just kind of lit a fire under me to do a little more research because I think everyone should have the chance to get to get the feeling of what it feels like to ride a skateboard. It's obviously, very joyful especially for a kid, and to have that opportunity without, even the parents out there, unfortunately, they probably never thought skateboarding is in the possibility realm for their kid. Well, it is. It just takes incorporating the right equipment and having some training. So these guys, Skate Anima, are like the top level of that. And so my correspondence with them in the beginning was reaching out to them kind of politely, because I saw the gait trainers that they had made in their apparatus, and I was like, man, I would love to build one here. And so I even talked to some fabricators around here and saw what was possible, but I didn't want to steal their idea. So I reached out to them directly and was like, how would this work, like to get one over here? And that's where the conversation started with Steven. And we FaceTime with him. It's I don't speak Portuguese, but we had a translator, and all the correspondence has been funny just on email, because luckily we have translating apps now, and it makes it easy. But getting used to that was interesting. And basically we've developed a relationship over the past few months, and in order to help them the most for right now, Upward Intuition has sponsored their live stream event, which will be August 15th. It'll stream on their Instagram from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So please tune into that. And it'll be the beginning of a collaboration, I think, here, to where we're going to do that first. And then we've even had talks of them coming here, which I think would be incredible. And my dream would be to have professionals from here, local therapists, people that do PT, people that work with kids with disabilities, and basically be trained by these guys, since they have a full program. Because Steven, in the beginning was like a professional therapist that ended up finding this and stumbling upon it after one of his students, and basically asked him if it was possible if she could ride a skateboard. And so he started developing this from the ground up, and what they've done is unbelievable. So I want to bring this stuff to the States. I think going through Skate Anima, that already has a program, is the best way to do it.
Yeah, I agree, because like we don't know what we don't know, so you might as well learn from somebody they've been doing it for, I think, nearly like a decade.
Yeah, since 2015, I believe, is when they started.
That's when we started to do.
That's crazy.
Doing what we're doing, and like it fits in really well with our overall mission as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's Steven has a TED Talk, and I watched that yesterday, and did like the translation or whatever, and he talks about their purpose, which is to infect everyone with the virus of inclusion through skateboarding. And so he talks about that's really the best metaphor, because Skate Anima captivates the person who is skateboarding, the father or the mother who is watching. It's really meaningful for them, and then it captivates the entire surrounding community and like us. And so the Independence for the Blind clinic I didn't make it to that one, but after I talked to you and Doug and some of the other guys that did that, like I felt like you guys were infected, and like kind of had this feeling or realization that like, oh, this is kind of a big part of maybe what we're meant to do. So it's really cool that, I think you said you've been talking to him for a few months, but I think it's been longer.
It's been a little bit longer, but yeah, man, I would agree. And that was, his spin on that is awesome. I think it came from like the COVID era, when everyone's talking about it, getting infected and all this. And he was like, I'm going to put a positive spin, because he was seeing how, you start with a few people and a few kids that learn it, and then all of a sudden now you see any of their videos in the clinics to do, there's so many people involved now. And it makes you realize, even within your own small community, how many kids with disabilities there are that, most likely haven't got any type of opportunity to do something specific like this, that it's not just a one-time thing either. If we can incorporate something like this and have a program in Pensacola, and not even just here, but beyond there, that infection thing you're talking about, like, I think it will spread very quickly and help people realize the opportunity they have for their kids. And like you said, it's not just for the kids, it's for the parents, the community. People want to get involved. Like, our skate community is so good here, and people take care of each other already. I know that everyone would want to be involved with something like this.
And then I think once they see it, they'll catch that secondhand stoke. They'll catch that infection, because sometimes, like, until you do it, not that I've done, like I said, I wasn't there for the Independence for the Blind, but even just as much as sometimes I don't feel like getting out there, and whenever we're doing our clinics and teaching kids how to skate, every time after it, when I see just how much fun they're having, it's like, oh, this is why we do what we do. And we, you get so caught up with other things and other parts of our mission, it's easy to forget, like, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing, man. Because I feel the same way. Like it'd be hot out there. You know, you know, you're like we're about to be in front of a bunch of kids, and like they think we're losers. But then you start getting to skate, and then one of them learns how to drop in. All of a sudden, it's like all high fives, and everyone's stoked. And you realize the importance of that. Of like you are that older dude now that they're looking up to, and that kid may end up skateboarding for the rest of their life. That boy or girl. So a lot of the times the girls were better because they listen. But so that was one thing that's cool about it too. I'd say there's pretty much an equal amount of both girls and boys out there, and they were just stoked. I want to say something too. You know, in the past, couple years, we've been raising money for new skate spots and different events that we're doing. And I just want to thank everybody that has believed in what we're doing. You know, we've made t-shirts, we've done different things to raise money. This is the type of thing where when you've given money to Upward Intuition, like this is how we can use it. It's like when this opportunity came and Steven was like, it wasn't even a crazy amount of money. They just needed enough to put the event on and live stream it. And we were happy to be like, this is, if we can sponsor this and create this connection, it will go so far. And so I just want to thank everybody out there because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do that without their support. And I think it's a good opportunity, especially the live stream, to like see where your money's going.
Yeah.
Very, very important things are happening. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you so much at everybody that's supported. And we're not doing this instead of these physical spaces. We're still working hard on that. And we have one.
Yep. Doing both.
That we're getting ready to submit for permitting here soon, but you'd be surprised how difficult it is to gift a free multi-purpose beautiful space and you know agree to do the maintenance and whatever. I truthfully I felt a bit resentful for a bit about just kind of how some things unfolded like the last few years, but it's just part of the process and we're getting better for it. And I'm just thankful, just truly thankful for everybody that continues to trust and believe in us. Like after the Blake Doyle skate park took so long, was kind of thinking that's, you know, like 28,000 square feet. And we're trying to do much smaller, 5,000 square foot range spots in existing parks. And we have all the money. We have kind of somewhat of a proof of concept. So like, and it's the most used park in the city is what the parks department says. So in my mind,
pretty wild.
Yeah. Doing these spots, it's going to be easy because we have the money. We're giving it away. Right. Clearly there's a need. And, yeah, it's been a big learning experience, but I think once we get this first one done, the people that don't quite understand what we're trying to do, we'll be able to show them this first spot, and that's going to help them understand kind of what our bigger mission is with that. And, you know, they'll be able to see what we're doing with this partnership with Skate Anima. So it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, anyone out there that's been to any of our public input meetings will kind of understand the adversity that we're against. You know, and I understand it. You know what I mean? You're always going to have people that don't necessarily want a skate spot around mainly because they don't understand it. That's the biggest thing. Because we're not trying to just plop it in the middle of somewhere to create noise or whatever they're worried about. We're actually really thinking and using landscape architects to think about the noise and think about how it can be out of the way enough of residents, but also be in a location that's going to be used that has traffic flow of kids coming through. And we want it to be a free, safe public space. And how there's a lot of kids that can't all come to Blake Dole Skate Park because that's an argument as well. It's like, you already have a skate park. It's like, well, if I have a kid that lives in Milton, or if I live in Gulf Breeze, or if I live in Beulah, or wherever it may be, if you don't drive and you're a kid, you're skating or you're biking there. And so we want to have these smaller places, and it doesn't need to be crazy. It could be as simple as a park bench, a free, legal park bench for them to grind on and skate on that they're not going to get kicked out of. And that's the whole point that we're trying to do. And it has been a long journey. It's been over 3 years working on the skate spot we want to develop. Now we do have something in the works that's greenlit, and we're so excited about it. And we're not going to stop there. And that's kind of been the attitude from the beginning, is like, I remember at the input meeting, you said something at the end after we had, a lot of neighbors had got up there and told us a lot of interesting things about how they were unhappy with us and unhappy about it. And you were like, we're not stuck to this one spot, but we are stuck to providing free public spaces for all-wheeled, activity for kids. And you're like, that's what we're committed to. I remember that statement kind of sticking out of like, that's the truth. Like, if this doesn't work and we're going to get too much adversity, we're going to move to the next one and move to the next one. And I mean, how many locations have we been working on so far? But it's proven that if you stick with it, something will come up and you will get the green light, which is happening now. And I think that will lead to more and lead to more. It's just consistency. And that's been a hard thing to, just to be transparent, like, especially with John and I and the team, like, we have lives too. We have responsibilities and things and jobs outside of this, but every minute that we can, we're back to it. And we have a lot of people that are around the two of us that have made this happen. It is not, we may be like kind of the face of it, but I want to make sure that they get their flowers too with the public, because we wouldn't be able to do it without all of the people, and not just them, but the skate community in general around here that has given us so much support. So we're very excited.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. And
yeah, we've been squeaky.
Yeah. And to be clear, it's not a job for Andy or I. Like, we don't take any money, or actually the opposite.
Yeah.
But it's just, we both just kind of understand what it means to kids and the community and people, because like we were those kids. And I just, after kind of that last one fell through, I just kind of, so busy because I have 3 little kids. Like, you're busy, you have starting a new business and all this kind of stuff. And I just did feel, like I said, felt some resentment for just kind of how things went down, and people didn't understand it. And I felt like we had tried our very best to just keep explaining it. But I take some responsibility for that too, because I think you just have to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
And over and over and over again.
Oh.
And even though you feel like a broken record, you just have to keep talking about it. And maybe that's, partially why I kind of wanted to get this set up here, so we can just keep talking about it and talk about what we're up to, and have it be easier to share, what we're aspiring to do and then the reason behind it, and just kind of document what's going on, and just bring people in to be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, man. I'm like going back through in my mind right now of all the meetings and all. No, I mean, I like to at the same time though, because I remember in the moment, after so many locations and so many meetings, feeling like you're a human being with emotions. You feel like a failure if something doesn't go through like that. You're like, I just wasted so much of my time raising money for this, and being so excited about it, and then bringing it to the table and going through the city, and then having the public input meetings and going back and forth with Parks and Rec and everybody. And then when it gets shut down, or we keep running into roadblocks, it feels like a failure. You can't help that.
And then when we saw Goal Point and W Street kind of go away too, it felt like not only did we fail,
now other
spots,
parts are being taken away.
The only other
exactly
designated spaces are taken away, and that's something we want to continue to work on as well. But
yeah, and it comes from like, me and John grew up skating together when we were little, like tiny. We were probably 12 years old or somewhere around there. Growing up and skateboarding and skating all the like. There's not many street spots. We had one skate park at Deep South. Thank God for those guys. But there just wasn't any like. You get kicked out of everywhere you would try to skate. And as a little kid, that felt weird, having the cops yell at you when you're just like trying to ride your skateboard. So all of this comes from our past, and we can't help sometimes but be a little bit like emotional about it, because there's a reason, why we want to give the new generation the things that we didn't have. And so that's where like the heart of it comes from. And not only that, when you see something like the product of Blake Dole Skate Park creating, like, naturally, when you build something like that, you see the community naturally kind of assimilate into groups of people and creating their own sub communities. It's just like build it and they will come type of, thing you see in real time. And, yeah, I don't know. It makes so much sense to keep doing that. And you see proof of concept like that, and you're like, we have to keep going. And not only just for our city, but if we can help facilitate other people and educate them on how to do it in their city, that's a big part of the goal as well, because it is possible. It just takes a lot of patience and consistency, and basically just not giving up. So anyways, I encourage anyone out there that wants something like that in their town, like, keep going. Reach out to us if you need info. We'll do everything we can.
Yeah, we're not giving up. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna just keep chucking away.
Yeah.
And you want to talk Skate Anima one last time, kind of with the details for Saturday the 15th?
I do. I'll do my best to make a plug. So Saturday the 15th of
August.
Saturday the 15th of August. There is a live stream by Skate Anima that is sponsored by Upward Intuition from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. They're an adaptive skateboarding program based in Brazil. And if you're not familiar with it, I would highly suggest go to their Instagram. That's where the live stream will be streamed from that morning. And not only that, dig deep on YouTube on all of the apparatuses that they have built for adaptive skateboarding, and support what they do. This is the beginning of I think, a beautiful relationship between us and them. And the guy that started it, Steven Pinto, has just been like the nicest, most consistent, awesome guy. And him being willing to create a relationship with us, there's just a lot in the future that can be done. And we eventually would love to have them come over here. But this is a good opportunity to understand what their program is and get involved. So please check that out. I'll try to put some clips in while I'm saying all this stuff. That would be nice. But
yeah, we can do that.
But anyways, please don't miss it and check it out. It's something we've been working on for a long time now, and it's coming to fruition. It'll be their first ever live stream. So we're excited to be a part of that. It's a huge deal for us. And, again, thank you for anyone that has bought a t-shirt from us, that has donated money, because this is the perfect example of where your money's going. We were able to sponsor this event and make it happen. And we want to continue to do this type of outreach and create more space for the adaptive community, because it's a huge community, and a lot of it, I don't think people understand that there's a huge possibility for not just kids, but adults that have disabilities. And there are things that can be built to give them the opportunity to skate. And the Skate Anima is doing exactly that. And we're linking up with them and want to build something for the future of the adaptive space here and everywhere we can. So thank you.
Yeah, like a lot of these kids, just what Steven was saying and the talk I heard he made, like a lot of these kids, they don't ever get to do anything outside of their house.
Yeah.
They're kind of stuck on the couch, a lot of them. Some of them don't really have communication with other people. And so to have the chance to just be a part of something and, which, skating in the skate community, I just think it's really cool.
I think so too. Oh, that reminds me too, like the Independence for the Blind that we did, the adaptive event, we had a clinic a while back. And one of the big things that I took away from it is, when you have a disability, you kind of feel like you're in that category and the other kids are in the normal category, or whatever you want to say. when everyone was out there skateboarding together, it had the feeling of there was no separation. It was like everyone is a skateboarder. It was a very natural feeling of all the skaters were helping those kids, and they were all hanging out together. And there were adults watching, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is incredible." So I think also just giving a kid the feeling of normalcy, and like, you know, it takes that wall away of like, "Oh, I'm different." I think that's just obviously psychologically huge for someone, you know, that is used to being treated a certain way or treated special, and no one wants to feel like they're you know, different or have a. I'm sure they're sick of the word disability. So this is an opportunity to kind of shed some light on that.
And just, I mean, that kind of goes back to why we want to create these other spaces too. Historically, you think about skate parks, a lot of them are inside fences, and it's kind of like, let's put the skaters and put those people over there and put a big fence around them. Yeah. And kind of like a cage. And so our idea is to create these spaces that really bring people together, and people, whether they skate or not, and spaces that you would look at and not even necessarily think that it was designed for skating.
Yes.
Just a beautiful park. So kind of wanted to, I figured I would just add that real quick since it,
well, that's where it gets exciting, is like
dovetails in there nicely.
Designing stuff that is, you know, the stuff we like to skate is part of the natural landscape already. So the idea is to create basically somewhere where anyone can hang out and they don't know it's built for skateboarding. But secretly, it is legal to skate there. So it's not like a normal skate park. And that's the most fun aspect of designing something to me, because I would want someone to walk by and not know it's meant for skateboarding, because there's also amenities for them to walk their dog by and sit down on the bench and hang out and use it just like you would a normal, you know, like at a city park or whatever. But if you go skate there, you're not going to get the cops called on you. And if you do, it's legal and they can't say anything because it's been sanctioned to be able to skate there. That's the coolest idea to me.
And we'd like to be kind of like the go-to resource too, if the city or the county or whoever's working on a new park project, and there's, you know, they want to have volleyball and basketball and places for people to sit and hang out and all these other things. A lot of times it probably wouldn't even cost any extra money to make a few of the areas skate friendly. And so we want to be a resource, because a lot of that kind of stuff, if it's not designated, Bruce Beach, for example, if it's not designated as a place to skate, people are going to skate it anyway. So we can help prevent the entire thing from becoming a skate park and work on a few smaller concentrated areas within that. But yeah, that's a bigger conversation for another time.
I want to note on that too, though, because, you know, with our old Parks and Rec director, when we first started really going after a kind of more natural landscape skate project.
Another rabbit hole we went down.
Another one we went down to the very end, and we're almost there. It hurts so bad, but it doesn't mean it's over. Bruce Beach here,
we're still in the rabbit hole,
was getting skated and biked on, so they're destroying a lot of the ledges out there. The place, it just looks like it was meant for skateboarding. It's beautiful. There's all these great ledges, and we were already in the design process of taking some of those designated ledges that were really good to skate. They're already waxed up. They're already, you know, been skated on, but we were going to top them with like granite and make them even more skatable and have them designated to where you could do it. So those are the areas you can skate at. And that way it leaves all the other ledges alone, because here's a perfect ledge. The skaters are going to skate that perfect ledge. And we were so far down the road with Parks and Rec. Unfortunately, they changed,
this is something they came to us and asked us.
Yeah, exactly.
The parks director at the time,
which was awesome. That felt nice, is that they came to Upward Intuition for a solution, and we had one, and we designed it, and we told them exactly what we wanted to do, that we would help from our donations to help the process along. And that, I don't want to say that, I just love that idea as also taking a space and being able to add to it or take away from it to make it more skatable. because that's also a thing, is not, instead of just building something from the ground up, take something that's already being skated and modify it to make sense to where here's your area for skating, here's a perfect ledge, everything else, leave it alone. I don't care, put a skate stopper on it, but don't leave that ledge alone to where you can skate it. Skaters are fine with that. Like, so anyways, more and more ideas that'll come to fruition. I guarantee it.
Three things before we leave. First off, we got the TC contest, September 15th. So, 17 years.
Yeah.
It's a really good time. So we'll be out there. No, you were out there last year. I think you
I
judged.
skated in it a couple years ago.
Yeah. We got to skate it. We got to skate in it this year. Last year my knee was hurt. I'm skating this year.
My knee's hurt right now too, but I don't even care. I'll roll around. Like I'm past the point of embarrassment, so I'll get out there and do a pop shove it on something or something.
Down the set. Dude, the valve frontside flipped the set last time. You stuck it, right? And broke your board?
Yeah. That's
sticking it and breaking your board, that's almost as cool as landing it.
Yeah. That's an old battle I'll have to revisit one day.
I think we got you on here. Yeah, and then we have Brown Bagger.
Yes.
Game of skate. That's coming up. Do we have a date for that? I just pulled up their Instagram. I believe Tim said, shoot, I should have had it pulled up in advance. It's coming up though. I know the park's reserved, so I think it's going to be a little bit later this year when it cools down.
Cooler weather
a little
this time, thank God.
So
I almost passed away trying to MC that thing last year.
So that's going to be really cool. Tim's done a great job of growing that, and people are psyched coming from all over the area. And the last thing I was going to say is we have these 2 beautiful granite slabs for benches. So if anybody has a spot, there he is. If you got a spot, we could set those up. Let us know. And we'll have an incredible skate spot.
Yeah, we got to use those for something sick. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. But other than that, see you guys August 15th, if not before.
August 15th.